Hello there guys, welcome back to AFC Game by Game. First thing to say is Happy New Year. I hope you all had a fantastic time celebrating a couple of days ago. But if you weren't, that victory yesterday against Man United should have been celebration enough. What a win, what a way to win. The performance, breathtaking, especially in that first half, absolutely fantastic. And although the second game there were elements of fatigue setting in, you could tell the team was starting to wane a little bit. I thought the way we saw out the game was incredibly professional. It was done in a way where we played to our strengths, played on the counter, and did what we couldn't really do in that game against Chelsea. If it wasn't for that individual error from Bird Leno, I'm not sure we would have collapsed in the way that we did. But I still that aside, if we'd have won against Chelsea, putting that on top of the win yesterday, that would have been fantastic. But we learned a lot from that Chelsea game, and I think that benefited us in that second half. In the game yesterday, as I say, we saw it out very professionally and we played very well, especially in that first half. We picked up exactly where we left off in that first half against Chelsea, and I think this result was coming. Honestly, I think we were very unfortunate against Bournemouth not to win. I think we were incredibly unfortunate against Chelsea not to win, and this result against Man United at home I think is thoroughly deserved given the performances that we've seen from Mikel Arteta's men in the past week or so. And it's so telling what an impression he's had on his squad in just the past couple of days. I'm so excited. I'm filled with enthusiasm, and it's just exhilarating to see us playing this type of football in such a short space of time, given when you consider we were losing at home to Brighton not too long ago. We were putting in dreadful performances earlier on in the season, and there was just kind of no hope, and you can't help but wonder if we had got rid of Unai Emery a couple of months ago, where we'd be. We'd be a couple more months down the line, and you know, for better or for worse, we've got Arteta in now. But I do think if you look back in hindsight, I mean, hindsight's a great thing, of course, but it would have been great to have got him in earlier, and we would be much more competitive. I think we would be in a much better position to compete for the top four, but it's all ifs and buts. We're in the situation that we currently find ourselves in, and I'm not even going to bother talking about top four in this video, because I just think we've got to enjoy the performance as an individual moment, because it was so fantastic. I was worried going into this game, but also weirdly, even though we've had those poor results, I felt very confident because I knew the performance was there. It was just a case of seeing the game out. I was concerned because, I mean, you've got to take into account this Man United side haven't been as dreadful as people have made out. They've had some horrific results, but they've also gone away to the likes of Manchester City and got a win. They were going into this game, I think, 3 wins on the bounce, or two or three wins on the bounce. So they were going to this game in form, full of confidence, but they just didn't show up. I thought they were dreadful. They didn't offer anything in this game, and I was really surprised by that. They, I think, as good as we were, they offered absolutely nothing at all. But I think the way we played going forward, the passages of play, we should have had about 4 or 5 in that first half, and that's no exaggeration at all. I wouldn't normally play us up that much, but we had so many opportunities. The Aubameyang chance, the chances Lacazette had in this game, the Torreira chance on the half turn. I mean, it was fantastic to see us creating this many opportunities. Ozil pulling the strings. It was a very ballsy lineup from Mikel Arteta to see us play with Aubameyang, Pepe, Lacazette, and Mesut Ozil. But I think you can do that because they all work so hard in this game. The number of times Aubameyang tracked back, the number of times Lacazette tracked back, Ozil as well covered the most distance on the pitch. I honestly don't think there's any risk playing those players if they all work hard in the way they did yesterday. Obviously, it's not overly efficient to play in that way, as we saw in the second half where these players burn out. But if you've got the defence that are capable of playing on the counter, which we did yesterday, I don't think we do in the long term, but you've got to hand it to Luiz and Socrates. I thought they were immense throughout the entire course of the game. And how many times have I said this season, I hate those two as a partnership? Well, yesterday they completely made me eat my words because they were exquisite next to each other. And I'm not sure if that's an answer for the rest of the season, but I think we played to their strengths. I thought Luiz playing out from the back where he didn't have too much responsibility to make too many tackles because Socrates was doing it alongside him. The way Socrates stepped up instead of backing off as he has done in previous games this season, I think that really suited his play, getting stuck in, and it was just an all-round great performance from the pair of them. And at left back, Kolasinac was immense in that first half. Bringing him in out of nowhere did us wonders. He was fantastic, especially on the opening goal. Pepe getting that goal is going to do wonders for him. Should have had a couple of assists as well. He got into so many good opportunities. Definitely his best performance in an Arsenal shirt for me. And Maitland-Niles a right back. I think, obviously I don't want to say that Hector Bellerin is going to have a hard time getting back into the side, but I think he's definitely got something to think about now, considering how well Maitland-Niles is playing, how consistent he's been recently. And he's just been transformed under Mikel Arteta. He's really playing to his strengths, and it seems to be a revised role for him. He seems to be looking at the right back position in a different way now. And I think when Bellerin comes into the side, he'll benefit so much from what Arteta brings to the team, the way he'll play in that right back position. We'll see the best of him going forward. But it's great to have such good options there at right back now. And we're definitely seeing the best out of these players. Xhaka, once again, fantastic in midfield, and if we lose him, we've got a problem, because I think he is our best midfielder by a mile at the minute. Obviously, Torreira was my man in the match yesterday. I thought he was fantastic. But those two, it's just balanced. They complement each other so well. I don't think we'll lose Xhaka in the January transfer window, but if we do lose him in the summer, then we've got to replace him adequately. But all round, to get that win, 3 points, a clean sheet, 2 goals, you can't ask for much more to start the new year with. And we've got a break from the Premier League now, which I'm a bit gutted about, because we did seem to be picking up a bit of a run of form. But we've got Leeds in the FA Cup, which I'm buzzing for, to be fair. I think this is an opportunity for us to pick up some silverware. I think it's a really, really good chance for us to get a trophy this season. I'd love us to win the FA Cup. I'd be delighted with that. So I do want to see a strong team. I do want to see a few squad players brought into it, maybe. But this January is going to be really exciting for us. It'd be interesting to see if we bring anyone in. There's obviously talk about Upamecano. He'd be a very, very exciting buy. We were linked with him so much in the summer, but his price seems to have dropped off quite a bit, maybe because he's not having the impact that he is in the Bundesliga that we were all anticipating he would. But I still think he'd be a class addition to this Arsenal team in an area where we need up-and-coming centre-halves, because with Chambers out now, with Mavropanos seeming to not progress to the level that we want him to, I think we're very, very light there. And obviously Rob Holding is an injury away from us being in a real crisis there. So I definitely think that's an area that we need to invest in. But apart from that, I'm very excited about what this Arsenal team is capable of achieving under Mikel Arteta. I don't want to get carried away, but the performance is exactly what I want to see from an Arsenal team. We just need to keep it up and be consistent and play every game in that fashion, with that work rate, with that intensity. Because, you know, the fatigue is a problem in the second half, but we can get ourselves into a position where we could be 2 or 3-0 up at half time, and then if we do get those defensive players in, then we can see out these games, play on the counter attack. And I think, you know, there's just so many positives out of that Arsenal performance. I can't praise the team enough. I can't praise Arteta enough. He works wonders with this team, and if he can do this in the space of a couple of weeks, think what he can do in the space of a year or two. So lots to be excited about, and I think I'm going to wrap it up there. Please do drop a like on the video if you have enjoyed it. And one last thing, the amount of fouls that Man United got away with, oh my god, it's I mean, if the game against Chelsea wasn't ludicrous enough, to yesterday just even more bewildering. I just can't get my head around somebody officiating that's gone against us in recent weeks. But anyway, no need to talk about that, because obviously the performance glosses over everything. As I was saying, drop a like on the video if you've enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and as always, I'll speak to you very, very soon. See you later, guys.